welcome back and welcome to the Diary of a Socialite. As the things have been going very well, I would just like to say today we're going to start off with talking about relationships. As a womanhood, obviously, we are the center. I like to think we're the center of all relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, and our family. And today with my partner, Mourine Obare, we're going to go straight into it. So, Mo, would you like to tell me what relationships are important to you and what it really means to be in a relation or relationships or friendships for you?
I like that you went with my partner. I was like, oh, that's the next level of this relationship. No. You said it well. Sank deep. It sank deep. I mean, first and foremost, my biggest relationship, of course, it's with God. Then family. Then friends, then colleagues.
Your daughter?
She's part of family. She's part of family.
I'm just playing with you.
And of course, top and my mentors. So God, family, friends, my workmates, and mentors.
Excellent.
Wait, what's your most?
What's my most? Okay. So I'm gonna sound a bit like a parrot here. I'll say God, although I didn't always feel that way. But now it's God, my family, and obviously romantic relations.
Ooh, wait.
There's only one. And obviously my friends that have been my ride or die. And obviously my Facebook friends, guys, I'm going to give you a shout out because you're just as important to me. So thank you for my 12 likes when I post their picture. Thank you.
Those are the loyal fans.
The loyal
Forget about the crowd. Forget about all that. You know, in life, for you to get like 2 or 3 and you have 12, like 12 disciples. Kudos for leading that pack or for being part of that pack. Yeah, talk to me.
This topic really kind of came into mind. We've discussed it, and some of my friends and I, we were discussing what sort of things that we would like to know as women, and really how important friendships are, because relationships covers everything. It covers family, friendships, romantics, work colleagues, and other things like that, because it's how you relate with people. Okay, so the reasons why I thought it was quite important to talk about relationships was due to the fact that obviously you and I, we were talking about them, and also just as a woman, we find ourselves to be at the center of a lot of relationships, friendships, families, and it's quite important to know where we are supposed to be or what we're supposed to be there, and not necessarily from what society defines this. So I thought it would be an interesting topic to talk about, and so we can redefine what a woman should be in a relationship, broad spectrum, all the different types of relationships. So if we could start off with family more, because they're so important to both of us. What is your role as a woman in your family?
Well, it's just me and my daughter right now. So I'm going to speak for the two of us. Luckily, it's going to be for the two of us. I don't think it's number one is provision. A lot of it is going to sound probably masculine. But I think if you look at life closely, and as you age, as you grow older, you get to find out that there is a very slim line between motherhood and fatherhood, and probably motherhood is still fatherhood. Maybe we'll touch on that later when we're talking about parenthood. But with starting with that is provision, protection. I find myself, I don't know if you know this, but for example, when you're sleeping with a guy, when a man is in the house, they get to kill the cockroaches, or they get to sleep on the side that is closer to to the door in case anything happens. So you get to also deal with probably bullies and things like that. So there's provision, there's protection. Of course, protection stems from provision, because you provide protection. There's guidance. What else? Then there's the most important one, which is prayer and God, and how you make sure that he's the leader in just everything that you do. So for me, provision, protection, guidance, and friend. I think that's one thing that people neglect, or they assume that is not important, but it's very important for you to be your child's friend, to be your sister's friend, to be your husband's friend, or whoever you live around with. So it's really important. So friendship, provision, protection, and offering guidance.
Okay, that's very sound. You sound like a very responsible family member.
I'm a responsible family member.
I, on the other hand, I am the youngest sister, and I act accordingly. Yes, I would turn up at my brother's house and be like, I'm home, I need food. Please let me help you fulfill your big brother duties, okay? My car is broken, it's outside. Do your thing. Obviously, yes, that being said, and me making the fun of it, is the fact that as a family, we have told each other that, there's strengths that we have in the home, and that we are to build each other first before we then go out into the world. So my role in my family here is that I'm an auntie. My brother has a son who's 12. So I'm there. I do perform auntie duties. I was there when he was born for about 2 years. So I would look after him. I'd pick him up from school, drop him off. We were three-way parenting group. And that's basically what I see myself as. I'm the helper for my family, because they take care of everything. They did take care of everything. So I was a helper. And as for now, I mainly just, in our culture per se, it's the adults and then it's the children. So I'm the sissies, like I'm a sister. So, we don't get to spend a lot of time with family. So whenever I'm there, I try and be a helper when I'm with my family. Not that they are not capable, they're more than capable, but I feel like that's my duty back to my family, to help where I can. And then on top of that, really, I think I can only speak about my aspirational family, where I want to be a wife and I want to be a mother. And I hope, right now I'm learning those qualities and those duties. For provision, I've had a job since I was 14. Granted, it'd be a part-time, but I've had a job since I was 14. So, and I know I'm working flexing the working muscle. And also, one of the things I'm kind of learning is to pray for my family. I mean, obviously, being in a church, you're always like, let's pray for family, pray for country, pray for this. But then in your own personal time, do you really put your family at the forefront of your prayers? So this is one of the things that I kind of learned to do. A lot of my family members are not born again or Christians or practicing or anything like that. So sometimes that's one of the things that I like to do. And I'm hoping that one day, we'll come together and we'll be praying together. But until then, I'm happy to carry the fort where I can. But then with the family, like you said, it's very important to notice that there should be friendship. So where my brother is older than me, he's about 14 years older than me. So we've had to, from it being my older brother / my mom, because you're looking after me, and my father, because you're looking after me, we had to have a friendship. Now we enjoy friendships. We discuss things. It's not a disciplinary and a child. It's more of a, hey sis, I was feeling a bit down. I thought I'll call you and we have discussions, or counselship. And I like to think, I'm hoping that I'm also feeding into him as much as he's feeding me, or he's fed me, spiritually from when I was a young age. So yeah, I think it's very important for those friendships, because we forget sometimes. You have friends outside and you think, oh my God, these people are my ride or die. They're there with me at school. They brought me lunch and stuff. And you forget that also you could have a friendship with your own family. And some of those friendships outside are seasonal. very seasonal. I can attest to that. I felt it very recently.
Are you almost crying? You're almost crying.
No.
Your eyes are teary.
It's not crying.
It's what?
Tears of passion. No tears here. It's very sunny. It's very sunny. So glazing over. But yeah, so those are sort of relationships I've learned to make sure I have boundaries with. I feel like with families, as much as people can say you have boundaries, you cannot really always have boundaries with your family. You have to respect your family. That's my philosophy. Maybe it's because I've got a good family, I'm not sure, so I can't speak for other people, but I'm very thankful that. But whereas my friendships, I feel like I've matured enough to put boundaries, to be like, okay, I cannot give this person this amount of time because that means I don't have time for myself, or because in the past I've given so much time, or I've given so much of certain things. I should never do that because I'm going to detest that person, resent that person, and not grow or become that person because I have nothing to lean on. So that's one of those things that I've kind of picked up on. Is there anything that you would kind of like to say about friendships? Like, I know you're very close knit, you keep the close few, very few. So please tell us.
I keep the close few because I'm an introvert, But with that said, everybody has somebody they can talk to. They just need the right person, the right connection. So back on first of all, with whatever you've spoken about, just to echo it on, a lot of people tend to help other people outside their family. Of course, I mean, we've seen that happen, and it's probably had a negative impact on the society, that every day, you see posts on Facebook or on social media and everybody goes like, listen, if you need help, make sure you don't go to your family because they're not going to, you're not going to be able to receive the much needed help that you probably require. And that's sad because, family is everything, family is everything. And probably with that said, it will bring the extension of, if you're not able to get help from, let's say, your blood, you can get help from anybody else, and that person becomes your family. So I think family goes just beyond, the bond of family goes beyond blood, beyond biological, because if I'm your family and I can't help you and I can't walk through this journey of life with you, then that means we're only by blood, but we're not like family. So that's one thing that you said that is so profound, that help should come from inside, springing forth outside. On friendship probably would start by defining what friendship is, and I think for me having somebody that you can walk through this journey called life, or you can build with, having somebody that can build with in this journey called life, and it's in different aspects. I don't think it's in every aspect, because as you continue to grow, as you continue to age, you find that there are friendships that will not withstand to the end, or you might not you might need different friendships in different capacities of life. So for me, that's what I'd probably want to start with. Like, how do I define friendship? Is having that somebody that you'd walk with in different capacities, different capacities of life. And with that said, every relationship or even work would begin with friendship. Friendship for me is the gate to get involved into somebody's life, to get to be able to work with somebody, because friendship creates that space for openness, to be able to share. So number one, friendship. I say friendship, mentorship, then leadership. It's not easy to get into the stage of mentorship or to get into the stage of leadership without having passed the test of of friendship. Number three, also with friendship, you have to be careful because not every friend you have needs to be involved in every aspect of your life, so for me is I get to compartmentalize people depending on the capacity they're bringing to the table. Then I'll be like you're probably in my outer circle, you're in my inner circle, now you're probably in my holy of holies, like now you're my personal person. So, and it's very important. A lot of people don't know how to compartmentalize the, relationships. So they get to enthrone people faster or give them a higher position without testing that friendship, without knowing, without testing it and knowing that they can be able to handle the level of the stage of life that you are at, or different capacities, or the different things, exactly, and the different things that and that's one thing that us women, most of the time, I've done it wrong until I got it right. We get to involve women in probably in our relationships that are not supposed to. Then they give you bad advice and your relationship fails, or they steal your husband, or they steal your man, simply because you opened a door that was not meant to be open. You opened a door to the wrong person.
Okay, so interestingly then, I think because you brought up that point, I wasn't necessarily going to take the conversation there, but because you brought up that point, you have many girlfriends, because you're speaking to girls, you've written books that are directed at girls. I mean, everyone can read those, but I think as a girl, you can pick up a lot more from the books. Do you have girlfriends, and what benefit are they to you? The relationship.
Do I have? I think for the longest time in my upbringing, I didn't have like a lot of girlfriends or a lot of women that I could look up to. So most of the time, I didn't have like my peers. I probably have an older person that I'll be looking up to. I keep my circles quite small, basically because I know the kind of responsibility that it comes with by having an extra person in your life. You get? So I don't have like multitudes and crowds. I don't do cloud chasing. I just need to have, few valuable relationships that I can also be able to sustain and maintain, as opposed to, let's say for example, you have a graduation or you have a wedding and I claim, oh, I'm your friend, I can't be able to make it because I have so many other relationships that are graduations that I don't even put much into. So for me is a matter of value. So the value that and the value that I have or the person is bringing to the table will make me allow them to come closer to me or not be my friends at all. And of course, like the aspect of building, if we're not building, then I'm going to be somewhere else where we're building something. So yes, I have girlfriends. It's not a lot of them, but they're quite valuable. And also, like I said earlier, compartmentalize. So I know this person, I can trust them with this sort of information. In this one, I can give them this sort of information, and this one cannot take this sort of information until they grow to a certain level. And it's also just basically about, just guarding yourself. Yeah.
I also have a question to add on that about, putting people in different compartments and, not telling everybody everything. And I think I guess I have a kind of a question to ask you then. Is it worth having those friendships? Because if you're having friends and even within your circles, you're not completely honest. I'm not saying that, you need to be saying, what you ate for breakfast and, your gynae appointment or anything like that to every single person female that you know, or every friend that you have. But because the emphasis you have for me is that people are going to be put in compartments in your life, and they don't get to have privilege to all of your life as a scope. Are you walking in trust, and is that a really good relationship in terms of friendship to have?
Of course. It's healthy, like I said, in terms of guiding yourself and guiding the people around you. You have to be careful. You can't just let people let's say, for example, I meet you today and you start telling me about your boyfriend, you don't know me and all that, with that sort of information, until you're able to test something, until somebody is able to pass the test of time, that's when you can be able to involve them in deeper, intimate matters. Are these relationships, like you're saying, in terms of trust? Of course, you have having all these people, you get to learn a lot from every single person. You just need to sieve what's good for you and what's going to keep you sane as they do the same, because it's a whole lot of energy to give all these people. If you don't know how to sieve, if you don't know how to receive the information that is going to help you, then you probably land yourself in troubles. This is what I'll say. In terms of friendships, you have friendship, but the next level of friendship is the one that I call confident. And this is the person that you trust with almost your secrets of secrets. It's not everybody you can trust with that, because the minute your secrets spill over and then it becomes gossip, and that's the one thing that kills people, gossip and all that. So you have to be careful in terms of guarding your heart, in terms of guarding your mind, in terms of guarding the people around you. Like I said, security is important. It's vital. Security provides a space where you can create security and the peace of mind, so that you don't get yourself involved in distractions that will probably not be beneficial for you. So for me, it's not like the fewer the better. For me, it's what is it that we're building by having this sort of friendship. And every stage in life demands a different version of you. And if you've not grown to that stage where I'm at, then it means then you're not going to be on that stage. It means I'm going to be involved with the people who are actually on that stage. So it's not a space where you get bad feelings, you get touchy, or you're in your feelings, but you understand that this person has grown. I need to let them go. If I need to be in their space, I need to grow to that level where we can be able to feed each other. But so it's either you define it, either you're a mentor, you're a peer, or you're a mentee. Then you'll be able to have good or beneficial relationships that way, without having any bad in your feelings or catch feelings.
Okay. So I can kind of say, I'm completely different to you, or I was very completely different to you. Growing up, I obviously had quite a lot of friends. I had different friends in different places, just because of, like in England, you've got a school, the schools where you go is probably not the same place that you hang out. So you'd have friends at school, there's friends within your community, friends, Black friends, African friends, that sort of thing. So I think I found myself that I had like lots of little scatters of friends everywhere. And I don't think in my mind I was going through the rigorous process that you're saying of like, oh, this one I should only tell this, or this one. It was more about what was happening in my life and what I was comfortable saying and sharing. I've had a situation where I had a friend, somebody introduced to our school, who then cheated on with me on my boyfriend cheated on me. She was not my boyfriend, so he cheated on me with her. And I remember, when all of it happened, and I remember thinking, oh my God, I should never be friends with girls. They should never know about my boyfriend. And, similarly to what you said. And then on reflection, I sat down and I said, that girl didn't have a commitment to me. He did. So if I'm going to be angry, I'm angry at the situation, but not because of her. I'm angry at the situation because of him. And then even in my future friendships, I didn't shy away from telling my friends if I had a boyfriend or if I liked anyone, because I realized one of the greatest things about true friendships is that when you're open with people, they will go above and beyond to protect you as your friends. I had in Gloucester is a very small town, very few Black girls. So every Black boy and every Black girl pretty much can see each other. And, you know, in the future, you know, a similar situation happened. The boy didn't know who the girl was, but the girl knew he was my boyfriend. And she then obviously, actually at that time we had broken up, but she knew who the guy was. And because of her relationship with me, stopped anything from happening, and even came in this, you know, later on we discussed the situation. And I think to myself, now imagine, like, you know, the advice that you've said, if I hadn't been talking to them about this person, you know, should have full on started a relationship and would have been at a party together, and I'd be like, oh my God, I didn't know. You didn't say anything, you didn't do anything, you know, what am I supposed to, and then there'll be different, you know, problem to deal with later. So I think, like I said, but later on, I'm learning that balance of, like, you know, testing characters, of, you know, if a new person is coming into your life, you know, when do you tell them everything? But at the same time, don't shy away, because you don't know what somebody's listening to and how they can be of benefit to you. Do you know what I mean? Because I've had a friendship with you. We were not that open at the beginning, and I think I kind of matched your energy because you're very close up. I didn't feel the need to really speak about much apart from, you know, projects and prayer and what, you know, whatever we felt was, you know, at the forefront of our minds then. And then I think as time go on, you'd listen to my problems and or relationships, and you'd give your advice, unsolicited sometimes, but you'd give it. And
it's always gonna be unsolicited, because listen, it's always most of the time it's gonna be unsolicited. Like I said, you know, people. Let me tell you, Rozalia, we've had this conversation I think the other day, and I said people always assume that you'll always be in their life and tomorrow is promised to everybody. But for me, I'm like, listen, let me tell you, let's end this this episode here, but on the next one, it's going to be interesting because we're talking about relationships, a romantic relationship, something that Rozalia over here is trying to shy away from, and she has spilled the beans. She doesn't even know it. She has, but she's kicked off that conversation. So on our next episode, we'll definitely go the relationship, romantic relationship, and me, I'll tell it off. So we'll see you guys.
I want to hear pitching for it. I've been waiting to hear all about yours. But in terms of friendships and family, I would encourage all of us to just go back and see what role you play in your family. And like what Mourine says, come in, you know, see if you can match your people or see what you add, what value you add, even in your uniqueness, even if you're just the person that knows how to bring a smile to your family. Please go out and shed your light in any capacity that you can. And we look forward to hearing what you guys feel about friendships and relationships. So thank you so much. And we'll see you on our next conversation.
Relationship, romantic ones.